What if you could face your worst fears without fear? Here's the Stoic technique. They say that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. But even that might not be true, because there are things that we should fear, things like public speaking, heights, or certain medical procedures. And it's not that we need to go out and do these things. It's that life will inevitably put us in situations where we'll have to confront our fears. So what's the best way to prepare ourselves for those times? Well, according to the Stoics, it was a technique called negative visualization, something that Epicurus talks about in his letter to a friend named Cleanthus. He says, "You haven't yet, my friend, achieved the point of no fear, but you will achieve it. For what is there to fear? Is disappearance from existence? Well, that's impossible. What's impossible cannot be feared by you. Or is it death that you fear? Death, my friend, is not something to be feared, since it's inevitable and inescapable. The only thing that can happen to a man is death, so you shouldn't fear it. Instead, you should welcome it as the one thing that can never harm you." What then is left to fear when you've eliminated all of the possibilities? The Stoics believed that we could remove the sting of any situation, even death, by simply imagining it. See, we fear things that we don't understand. Fear death because we don't know what comes after. We fear public speaking because we don't know how it will go. We fear failure because we don't know what it will lead to. So the Stoics would take the opposite approach. They would imagine the situation going wrong. They would imagine their worst fears coming true. And by doing this, they would take the edge off the fear that they felt. This is something that you can try for yourself. If you know that you're going to be giving a speech in a few days, spend some time alone imagining that it goes really poorly. Visualize yourself stumbling over your words and losing control of the speech. By doing this, you're preparing yourself mentally for that day, so that when it arrives, it's not such a big deal. In fact, it might even go better than you expected, because you've already dealt with it in your mind. Now you might be thinking, this sounds awful. Why would I want to do this to myself? Well, the truth is, you don't have to. Marcus Aurelius says, the mind adapts and converts to its own purposes. It does not change. So if you don't want to imagine these scenarios, if you refuse to do it, then your mind will automatically make you suffer. But if you voluntarily submit to these thoughts, if you welcome them, then they lose their power over you. But why would they lose their power? Seneca talks about this. He says, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality. It is future events that we fear, not actual events. For what has happened cannot harm us. Only what may happen can harm us, which is never happening. It's always only going to happen. And the anticipation of that, the worry, the constant questioning of whether or not it will happen, that's where the problem lies. That's where the mental suffering lies." So he says, if we can get clear on the fact that these things aren't actually happening, that we're just imagining them happening, then we can calm down and stop suffering. So here's the exercise. Take whatever your current fear is, whether it's public speaking or heights or failure, and imagine it. Imagine it vividly and in detail. Imagine all of the ways that it could go wrong, all of the reasons that you could fail, all of the things that could be lost. And by doing this, you'll find that the next time that situation actually happens to you, you won't be afraid. You'll be prepared. You'll have already experienced it in your mind. And as Seneca says, he who is everywhere suffers nowhere.